But you could always look up and see all the rafters then.
We didn't touch any of that.
Where was the hay at then?
All the way around it. There's a silo in the center, and they'll hold it loose hay all the way around it. And the feed bunk was right underneath the silo. So all I had to do is shovel everything around close to it. So everything's done by hand. Very efficient way to do it.
This building, it's 3,000 square feet, and or 2,800 or something like that, and then it's 40-some feet still to the top, and so it's probably why it's still around, because it's so much lumber, you know? But I mean, that's just, they used what they had at the time, which was, and they used what they knew. I mean, yeah, you know, they've probably over-engineered things in the earlier days, but that's also the reason why it's stood up here in the open, in the flat, for 110 some odd years through how many tornadoes and high winds and all sorts of events. So we're assuming that the barn was built somewhere like in 1910, 1920, somewhere in there. We don't have an exact date, but I know Jim said when they bought the farm in like 33 or 34, I think his dad bought it, something like that, or 37, that the barn was already there, and they assume one of the previous owners were the guys that built the barn. When you come in and you look at this roof, that's what everybody has the same reaction. Everybody looks at it, and that's pretty much why I figured we should try and save this thing, because it's crazy. You look at this and you think it was built in the early 1900s, and so they did this with, there was no battery-powered tools, there was no corded power tools, there was no laser levels. Every one of those nails were driven probably by hand. Every board was cut with just a handsaw, and they constructed and built that and took their time to make it look right and have it. And then just the way when it got all finished, I mean, it's a crazy piece of art, you know, too. Just how artistically, appealing it's looking too. And I think a lot of that has to do with just the time that they took to make sure the gaps were right and even, and it's kind of really hard to take straight boards and wrap them around a dome, because it really is a wooden dome, and it's quite the thing.